Hey everyone, and welcome to another edition of LSDnews. This is Gregory Figueroa, and my name is Emily Feliciano. So to begin with our first story, it comes to us from right here in Chicago, from the Chicagoland area. A woman is suing her former fiancé for canceling the wedding. The woman's name is Dominique Bugita.
Yeah.
And her ex-fiancé's name is Vito Salerno.
No. Salerno.
Salerno. Oops. Vito Salerno. So
She's 32, he's 31, which figures into the story as well.
you think?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were supposed to get married October 2nd, and he cancels the wedding a few days before the.
I think approximately 4 days ahead.
Yeah, 4 days before the wedding, he cancels on her, and now she's suing him for the cost of the wedding.
Which is $100,000 in damages.
That's a lot of money for a wedding.
It's a lot of family.
So what do you think about this from a male's perspective?
I mean, I think it's fair. Like, if she actually put the money in, you made an investment, guess what, brother, you gotta pay. The same thing as she would have to return the ring to him if that's, if that's what the state says.
Right.
Because it was on a condition. The condition is we get married, and well, I'm putting money in this on the condition of us getting married. I shouldn't be on the hook for all this. We had all this time, and that's fair. What do you think?
Yeah. I'd sue my ex-fiancé for canceling the wedding on me after all this money is spent.
I think, but one thing I don't like is the part at the end where she's kind of like, in her lawsuit, as of this day, I'm still unmarried. It's like the biggest thing, like that's his fault, what she's basically saying is, I'm supposed to be married now. It's his fault that I'm not married. You want to be married to a guy?
Well, I mean, okay, technically, she isn't married because of him, right?
Yeah, but you see that her whole angle was how big the wedding was to her, than the actual person.
Right.
I want to get married. Marry's the end goal for me. You ruined that.
I wonder how long it was that he was feeling this doubt, or how long he had cultivated. Because to cancel a wedding is just not something that happens overnight.
It's hard to actually think. You could assume that, all right, maybe he wanted to get married to her because he felt pressured, which could have been the case. Maybe while he was doing this whole thing, he realized how the wedding probably was too big than he wanted it to be. And how it got like...
Is that reason to cancel a wedding?
Reason, if you realize that her doing the wedding, it kind of grown out a different type of person that you're not attracted to. Like,
the bridezilla?
Maybe, that's a possibility. I assume is that he probably felt pressured. And she was probably pushing. I'm 32. I want to get married. When am I getting married? When am I getting married? He's like, oh, well, sounds like a good idea. And then when you're finally in the situation, there's this whole production, and you start thinking, I don't really like this girl. For our next story, a woman decides to let her boyfriend keep sexting so he won't stray, so he won't cheat on her. Basically, it's over in London, right?
Yes.
The woman named Natalie, she is 31 years old, basically allows her boyfriend, who's 20, Adam, to sex women that, I guess from the sex lines, whatever numbers he gets from magazines, he can just chat them up. That's basically what he does, get pictures.
Sends pictures.
And basically when she first found out about this, she wasn't happy, but she figured that since all guys are going to cheat on you anyway, you might as well compromise. Because I don't want to lose him. What are some of his rules? What are some of her rules for him to continue on his sexting?
So I'm going to read off the list just so I don't get any of this wrong. So Natalie's rules include: Adam must never actually talk to girls or meet them. Each week he must change the girls he sexts so he does not get attached to them. Natalie can look at his phone whenever she wants.
This is the key one right here.
Adam pays his own phone bill.
Obviously she was paying for his.
He can only choose sex advertisements from national magazines, not from internet or phone box advertisements.
Which makes no difference.
Adam is also banned from ever sexting a girl he has met in a pub or nightclub.
And honestly, this is from London. Isn't the whole national magazine all of London?
Yeah.
Or all of England? England's not the biggest place in the world. You know, it's not like the whole Europe.
Right.
It's a small part.
I think this woman is stupid. She sounds very insecure.
She is.
She probably thinks, you know, this is a younger guy. She's not. She doesn't sound very confident to me. This younger guy, you know, to keep him. I'm so lucky to have him, to keep him around. I have to let him do this.
She makes better excuses for what he does than he needs to.
Right.
Like, oh, all guys cheat, or this is a way for him not to stray away from me. You know, all guys look at porn. This is the same thing. But you know, she's not telling him, hey, when you look at your porn, can you make sure that it's not local porn?
Or amateur porn.
Yeah. You're setting all these barriers to something that's a very sticky situation. And very stupid barriers.
Sticky situation.
He's a 20-year-old guy. And he might make the mistake of doing his own thing. Because obviously he's already testing the waters. This is testing the waters.
Yeah, and before you know it, it's going to be like, well, Adam, you can cheat on me once a month. That's all you got. That's the next step. Stupid idiot.
But of course, you know, she's happy to tell her story to the Sun. And she's more than happy to just keep this going until finally it blows up in her face and then every guy goes to hell because of this. I can never trust any guys, even though it's really her problem.
Yeah, instead of his.
More so than his. But he is pretty young. So I don't know if it's going to last. It's not going to last. 31 to 20? Yeah.
Maybe she has the good stuff.
She has the good stuff? That the guy has sex with other women that are not even real. It's not even porno. It's, oh my goodness, this is so hot.
Take your panties off. Yeah, one of the text messages read, it's take your panties off.
Oh yeah. I took my panties off. Are you excited? Yes, I am.
So our next story is about sex surrogates. Basically, what they are is sex therapists, right? Is what they call themselves, sex therapists. Basically, they have sex with you to improve your sex lives, or to overcome, I guess, the fear of having sex. They help you lose your virginity.
I think from what it says is basically like sex is like the last part of what they do as a treatment. They try to start with the talking and the massaging and the actual teaching of certain moves. And when it gets too difficult, that's when they actually involve sex into the equation to, I guess, improve that person's sex life or whatever.
Well, from their numbers, it
That's
seems.
it.
And so they're having sex with all of their clients.
I mean, from what it looks like not even Pete Rose had that many hits.
So Sarah has been with 3,323 partners, and Jeff has been with 2,162 partners. I just want to say something now. It says partners. It doesn't specify whether it's been with men or women.
It could be either or, because it's a professional job. It's not like I want only men because I'm not a homo. No, it's a job. I'm pretty sure it's...
So you think Jeff has entered the circle?
Probably. He's helped 49 guys or girls lose their virginity, and she's helped 52 virgins.
And this is their job, just
you take this seriously?
I mean, they are prescribed. People do get prescriptions from their doctors to go see them, which is funny to me.
They get prescribed sex.
If it helps, then I guess good for them. I mean it's weird. It's weird to me, just having that someone come in, like, I need to have sex with you to make my sex life with my husband better.
I mean, but if you take it from the point of view of, you know, from the people who need it, and like a lot of these people, this has been like a struggle. This is like a hard struggle. To have something like this must be amazing to them, because you know these are the people that 1 minute men or guys that don't feel like they're up to speed or they lost a step, and it's kind of like these are when you get to this point where you have to use this, you're desperate. Like nobody goes to their doctor and go, you know, prescribe me sex.
Please.
This is something that, you know, after intense therapy, after intense talking, discussion, trying to work with you, I got to send you off to the big leagues. I got to send you off to the people who can probably knock this out. Because I can't. I can only write your prescription, and it ain't working out. You need something a little more, I guess, different.
Harder.
I mean, it has had some success, right?
I guess so. There was a 72-year-old man, right, that had sexual intercourse with this woman, Sarah, because he had erectile dysfunction.
No, that was the 51-year-old.
Oh, sorry, 51-year-old. The 72-year-old's problem was...
He was just losing a step. His wife felt like he was losing it.
So just to refresh.
They charge, what is it, I think 150 to, I think 300 pounds per session, and they usually have 6 to 8 weeks of therapy. I mean, I wonder, when does the sex come into play? Is it every single time? Is it like is it a big build-up to that big climax of sex?
Well, I mean, it does say, they start with the talking and the sensual massages, and then they get into the nitty-gritty.
But does it ever get to the point where people fall in love with them? Like, I really want to know that type of stuff. Does someone stalk them? Do people fall in love with them? Do people want them? Do people...
I think unless there's something like wrong with the person, then it should be just like professional. Like going to a gynecologist, like they stick their finger up there, and women aren't like, oh, my gynecologist, he really.
But these are people that are losing their virginity. Even though to me, I can imagine it being very awkward.
Mhm.
Because you didn't pick this. This is something that's just thrown at you, and you kind of have to go with the process.
No, we're not sure if they picked it, like the virgins. Maybe some of them opted for this route. Like, let me just lose it now. Because you don't need a doctor's prescription to go to them, right?
But that's how usually they get a lot of their business. I feel like with the virgins, there's probably a lot of like social awkwardness. And that's probably the reason they went to this. Because, it's probably really hard for them to get to that point. To get to that intimate level. Because, not everybody's, gregarious or open or willing to just throw themselves out there. Some people can't deal with touch, or they can't deal with intimacy in any way.
Right.
Even if it's just casual sex.